Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dear Recruiter Show. I'm your host and resident recruiter, Steve Rosen. Today is April 30th, and today we're going to give the floor and the attention over to the job search candidates. As mentioned before, this show is to help people that have written in with real life problems and situations regarding hiring and job search. So without further ado, I'm going to jump into our first call, our first writer. And this one is Tara A. out of Indianapolis. And Tara A. writes, "Dear Recruiter, help. I just found out I'm going to be losing my job due to a layoff, and I have not written a resume in over 10 years. Where do I even begin to start?" Well, Tara, thanks for writing in. Appreciate your question, and this is a common problem. You're not alone. So the first thing I have told people is don't panic. I have an easy to use format, but the first thing to focus on is when writing this resume, it's all about your branding tool to market yourself to employers. So you're thinking about branding and marketing yourself out to people who are seeing it. So when writing the resume, you just don't want to list what functions you're doing on the job or what the tasks are, but you want to talk about the capacity in which you perform those activities, such as how you performed them and what you accomplished, what you got recognized for. This way you're showing employers the quality level of how you completed the job. So my suggestion to anyone out there that has not written a resume in a long time is get a notebook. I like to call this a job search journal. And start listing out your accomplishments, special projects you were on, what the role was for each job. The reason I suggest a notebook is that you can brainstorm without worrying about the grammar, without worrying about the formatting, and it's all your thoughts getting out on paper in front of you. So once you do that, then you can take those notes and write the final draft of your resume. Now, as far as an outline, since you have so much experience, you want to emphasize that over education, experience is what sells an employer over education. Not that education is important, but it's almost like a checkbox. It's almost like an expectation that most people have it. So your resume is always getting the top, is always getting the top view. So you want to impress with your best foot forward. So here's a format that I suggest. Number one is experience. List the company. Actually, before the experience is you want to do an accomplishment summary. This is summarizing your whole entire experience. Where you worked at, industries, what you did, roles. This gives people something to take a look at. So once you do that, then next is you want to do the experience where you list your company job title. Next line lists the role. Again, not the task that you did, but your role. And then the accomplishments. Put in the highlighted bullet format of everything that you've done as far as an accomplishment. And then you follow suit. And then at the very bottom is where you would list your education. Well, Tara, I hope that helps. Feel free to let me know if you have any more questions. And otherwise, good luck to you on the resume. All right, folks, we have one more job search question, so let's dive into that. Let me see what we have here. Let's see. So many good questions. All right, here's a good one. Joan V. out of Minneapolis writes, "Dear Recruiter, I need help. I've been in the accounting profession for 20 years now, and I'm bored to tears. I want to do something else completely different. In fact, just over the last few years, I discovered I'm a people person and want a job that utilizes my personality, but accounting is all I have ever done. It's gotten to really bore me, and I want to see what else I could do. Any suggestions?" Joan, great question, and I applaud you for taking a look at your professional career and saying, hey, you know what? I want to try something different. A lot of folks wouldn't have the courage to take a look and actually act upon it. So just right there, you're doing the right thing in your first step. So Joan, it starts with you. I know the first thing people tend to want to do is jump back in and go to school, but that is the last thing to do. Now, and I don't mean the last thing to do is going to school. Obviously, if you're doing a career change and you need some more skills, you're going to have to educate yourself. But before making that commitment, you want to figure out what do you like about accounting? What are you actually doing? Really do a self-assessment. If you need something that quenches your thirst for being an extrovert, it maybe look into being an accounting recruiter, where you can talk to people all day but still utilize your accounting knowledge if accounting is what you still like. Now, if you want to completely do something that leaves accounting behind, as I mentioned to our first writer, take a notebook and do some job journaling, where you list some key attributes or skills you would like to use in your next role. Run a search on one of the job boards, a LinkedIn, a Monster, Career Builder, Indeed, so-and-so, and plug in those skills to see what jobs come up. Look at the descriptions, see what interests you, and then I would use LinkedIn or your network to find out who's doing that job and set up an informational interview. Talk to that person. That person can give you some insights in what that job is like, how to get into it, what are the growth expectations, the good as well as the bad, because you want to hear it all. You don't want to just see everything through rose-colored glasses before you make this critical decision. If you like the job, I would see if there's a way to do some side projects, or even for free, just to get some experience, maybe a part-time internship, just something to get some experience, make some connections. Joan, I think the biggest roadblock to switching careers is experience. And so that's why I suggested anything you can do on the side while you're doing your full-time job. Now, if you can find a way to get applicable experience, even if it means doing project work for free, I think that's a well worth investment. That will also eliminate what seems like an impossible feat and make it manageable, because then once you've done that project, A, you've made some connections, B, you've got some experience. Well, folks, I hope that helps you, Joan, and I want to thank all the listeners for writing in. Before I sign off here, I want to give special thanks to my executive producer, Noah Matthews. And until next time, which we're going to go back to the hiring managers in the company, keep listening and keep showing support. Again, write in those questions at srosen@careercompassgroup.com. And to see written versions of these in my blog, it's careercompassgroup.com. Till next time, peace out.